9 years ago today, probably the most influential Yu-Gi-Oh set came out. And that set was the Secret Forces. The reason why it's so impactful to me is not just the cards that it came out with, but it's also the first set that I bought as an adult. It's the first set I bought, period, as a box. And in fact, I bought 2 boxes of it, not just one. It was the first ever box opening I did, and it was also something that got me really to get back into the game, and not only to get back into the game, but to find a brand new community that I love. So let's start talking about what actually came out in the Secret Forces that's so impactful. 3 new archetypes were introduced in the set. We had Yosinju, Necros, and Ritual Beasts. For us, no one really played that much of the Ritual Beasts, and I think only one person at the locals I started attending played Necros, but I started playing Yosinju. And the only reason I started playing Yosinju was because I bought the 2 boxes and I opened everything, and since I had no idea of the ratios at the time, I was hoping that I could just pull a full Necros core and just play that, because everyone was talking about Necros at the time. And obviously that's really ridiculous, especially with the Brionic short print going around. So needless to say, I didn't get near enough to get the deck at all, and I still wound up never playing it. But I did pull everything except 3,2. I only pulled 2,2. So I decided to buy a third 2 and take it to a brand new locals that I have never been to. So I've never been to it. I don't know anyone at it. And I go into it thinking it's going to be reminiscent of my previous locals in Alabama, where people were playing a lot of the meta decks, a lot of top tier decks. So I go in and I go, alright, I'm playing Yosinju, but everyone else, there should be a few people playing Necros. It's the new deck. I know I came a month after the set released or something, because I didn't open up my boxes until the 25th. So there's definitely a span where people could have them. And I wound up going to the event, to the locals, with Yosinju, and I wound up placing second. I lost to Campos playing Black Wings, and the last game, it was 1-1. Neither one of us were able to draw any monsters, which is very weird for 2 monster heavy decks at the time. So I wound up losing. I got second place, and this is me coming off of the second place I also got at my previous locals on my which is the best I've ever done at that locals, and it was my last one because I was moving. So I've now went from not even top 4 and top 8ing locals to now getting 2 top 2s back to back. So I felt really good, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to make the drive each and every week at the time. And I don't remember when, but at some point I started going to the locals every week. And the locals for me was just over an hour drive away. And at the time I was working a 4 to 1 shift, so I was working 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. So after work I would go home, I would try to immediately go to sleep, which for people that don't know, it's pretty hard to do that. You just go home and go, alright, it's time for bed. And then I'd wake up at 6 in the morning and I'd start getting ready. I would, do my morning routine. I'd shower, I'd get all my deck stuff ready, and then I would go drive my hour to the new locals, and I started doing this pretty regularly. to the point where I was able to start doing it every single week. And this is where I met the whole crew, the Hastings gang, of my boy Marshall G. Ladden, Salty Sal, Campos, Caleb with a K, Cohen, also with a K, Noe, and Derek. These people have been so close to me as friends, and I just really love them. I have so many memories from everyone, such as the one time Marshall pulled a Dark Destroyer, and like 3 minutes after he pulled the Dark Destroyer, we were told to quiet down by the staff. And by that point, we were already quiet. But whenever he did pull it, we all just went, "Oh yeah!" You know, we were all very hype. But then we immediately were like, "All right," because we're in a place of business, so we didn't want to be too loud. So we did that one outburst, and then that was it. And then a few minutes later, one person said, "Hey guys, can you keep it quiet?" And by that point, we were already like super quiet. Another memory from Hastings I've had is I used to play. I'd come to locals with different decks, just random strengths, each and every week. And I remember taking Battery Man, and I lost to arguably the worst person at our locals. I got 2-0'd by him, so I decided I had to retire Battery Man OTK, and it's still a meme to this day. Not only Battery Man OTK, but the fact that I lost to the guy, and we uploaded the video called Best Water Deck as a result. I remember Caleb going undefeated for a full month with Infornoids at just the age of 12. What an amazing young man. Noe was very instrumental on me becoming a better player. He was one of the only people that was also pushing and striving to be a better player, so I owe a lot to him. I remember this one time I was playtesting against Derek, and I was playing Pepe at the time, and Derek was on Monarch, and it was my worst matchup by far. So I was playtesting against him to get better at it, and this was like a week or two before regional, so I was really trying to bunker down and to get good at the matchup, to learn more about it. And I just remember Marshall, Sal, and Campos all just came up to me, and they were like messing with like any card I had. Like they were like picking up my deck and like looking at it. They were looking at my top cards. They were picking up my extra deck and stuff. And I even said, "Hey guys, I'm really trying to focus on this, and I'm really trying to think. Can you just like leave me alone for a bit?" And they go, "Say less," and they just like put their phones in front of the cameras and stuff. And I remember that I just had to leave. I decided that it was just not worth it, and I'm getting very mad because I was getting heated that they were just constantly messing with me, and I was actually trying to focus so hard on the matchup at hand. Even after locals ended, a small group of us would still go somewhere else, probably to like food, to playtest. I remember me, Derek, and Caleb, and maybe sometimes Noe going to a place called Chin Garden, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet. And we would just stay there for hours. And since it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, they have lunch and dinner prices. And I remember staying there so long that they got mad at me because I was getting some of their sushi. And they said, no, that's dinner price sushi. And I was like, then I'll pay for dinner price. Like, I'm getting the sushi, it's already on my plate. You're just going to throw it away. It's already on my plate. Yeah. But I also remember many of times me and Caleb would go to Derek's place of employment because he would have to go to work immediately after locals. And I remember me and Caleb just playtesting in a Subway